Hey, Highland County Real Estate, Randy Butler here. We're in the office of Classic Real Estate, and I have a very special guest, Mr. Shane Wilken. How are you, sir?
Good, Randy. How are you?
Great. Hey, I've known this guy since he was a little kid. I don't know actually how old, but pretty young. Pretty young. We kind of
Probably
grew up.
40 years
It's
ago.
been a long time. We grew up going to the Danville Church of Christ.
Yep.
I knew his dad, his grandpa. That really makes me sound old, I know, but I know the whole family. So
Don't feel bad. I knew them both as well.
you know him too. Hey, Shane, he lives here, he works here. He's a pretty popular guy in the community, in the county, and also at the state level. He was a commissioner here for, you said, like 10 years?
10 years. I was in the middle of my third term when I got appointed to the State House.
Shane now represents our 91st district as
Correct.
a state representative.
That's right.
So, for those of us, and I wasn't really sure myself, exactly what do you do for us here in Highland County?
Well, the 91st District is comprised of Clinton County, Highland County, Pike County, and then 2 townships in Ross County right above Waverly. So we are the lawmaking branch of state government. So if somebody's got an idea, a problem, an issue, we look at the laws, either creating or perhaps changing, adapting. The saying in Columbus is that's why it's called the revised code, because it's able to be revised as times change, as things change, and things move forward. So that's what we do.
And probably some laws continually get revised as time
Oh,
goes
yes.
on, I'm sure
Yep.
they do.
And some are easier to revise than others. It gets very polarizing at the state
I
level
could
on a
imagine.
lot of things.
You have, I don't know if it's came out today or maybe it came out yesterday, but you had like a press release in a local paper. Unless you've lived under a rock or in a cave somewhere, we all know about the virus that they're all facing. It has absolutely rocked our world, locally, nationally, everywhere. I mean, it's changed a lot of things, how we do things. Just briefly, in a nutshell, what was the article you wanted to get out to everybody?
Yeah, so we did. We had a press release go out yesterday, and just talking a little bit about the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. And if you've seen it, this is going to be pretty repetitive, and a lot of stuff in the article, quite honestly, was repetitive as to what you've heard lately as it concerns this latest issue, this crisis that we're facing here in the country and in Ohio and in the 91st District. And the first thing I talk about is here in the 91st District, we are a problem-solving people. We face issues head-on. We go after challenges. We don't back down. We're not scared. And in this particular crisis, that's maybe not the best way to go about it. And the reason being is you and I, younger guys, kind of.
Hope we are anyway.
But, and I've got girls 9 and 10. If it were to get into our household and we had it and the girls get it, we may not feel great. We may have a little bit of runny nose or fever or things like that. Might not be that big a deal for us. The problem is, I take my 9 and 10-year-olds to Kroger. We pick up something, they run it in. Excuse me. They run it in to Grandpa, my dad, who's in his 80s. And of course, they see Grandpa, they want to give him a hug, they want to give him a kiss.
Sure. That's the problem, right?
That's the problem. My 80-year-old dad may not be able to deal with it as well. If you're a smoker, you might not be able to deal with it as well. If you've got some chronic health problems, you might not be able to deal with it as well. So although you and we might be able to forge our way through it and get it and not a big deal, it's who we pass it to. So this is where, and it's hard because I think in Southern Ohio, we are a friendly, social people.
Absolutely.
We see each other, we shake hands. I started to tell you earlier, I had a teacher, John Jones, from high school. He taught me when I was a freshman, this young man, this is how you shake somebody's hand. You stand up and you grip it firm and you look them in the eye. And I'll never forget that. I've done it ever since. It's a hard habit to break.
Absolutely.
If I can't do that, I'd almost rather not do anything. Just wave and say hello.
Sure.
But, I was raised by my mom, and I got 4 sisters, and my dad, if I see you, I'd probably give people that I know a hug.
Absolutely.
Probably not the best thing to do that right now.
Not right now. That's kind of how we're physical people. That's
We
what
are.
we do.
And the thing is, we're going to get back to that. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I talked to Congressman Winstrup the other day, and we had a lot of good conversations. There's a lot of progress being made. I won't go into everything, but they are making progress, and we're going to get by it. We need to stand together and look out for those that are most vulnerable. Just be smart. I know everybody wants to go out to dinner. I know everybody wants to get together. We've got a small group of friends that we're still maintaining social contact with and doing all this. But, keep it small, be smart. It's just not the time to take unnecessary chances.
Yeah. Well, things have changed so much, and I look at it, whether you agree or not agree, we all have to do our part. I mean, churches are closing, restaurants are closing. That's for good reason. Nobody's going to close their business. Well, they have to, for one thing, but we have to do our part and just kind of go along with it. There's not much we can do other than do what we're told to do.
Well, and we can argue of what's been done, whether it's right, wrong, closing the businesses, the election, that's a big deal. We can talk about that all day long. The bottom line is this is where we are. How do we adapt and how do we go forward? And then what do we learn from this?
Absolutely.
A couple things, and I know we're probably running long on time.
We're close, but go ahead.
In my conversation with Congressman Winstrup, we found a couple things that are probably chinks in our supply chain. Like a lot of our masks and things like that are directly from China. Well,
Wow.
that might not be the best idea, and this is opening it up in a way that maybe it's good to learn it now rather than later.
Sure, and I'm sure, like you said, your name, phone number is plastered over ads everywhere.
Yeah, I can give you my office number real quick. It is 614-466-3506. If someone needs to call in, if you've got an issue, if you've got a question, you're not sure how to quite go about this, that, or the other. If you look at the op-ed in the paper, there's a lot of phone numbers and information attached to that.
Sure.
So hopefully, everybody stay safe, do what you can to minimize your contact, and don't forget, we're going to get through this, and things will get better. They will get back to normal, and when I see you next time, we'll give each other a big handshake, and the world will return. We're just going to have to bide through this a little bit.
We just got to get through it.
Yep.
Get through it. Have a great day, Highland County. Thank you, Mr. Shane Wilken.
Thank you for having me on. Take care of everyone.